Good morning. There is lots and lots going on at First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin. So before we formally begin our service this morning, we want to let you know about some of those things and how you might get more involved in other areas of the life of the church. First, July, this month is July for Reproductive Justice Month. It continues this week with 2 workshops, one in person this afternoon and a second online Thursday on anti-abortion crisis centers. Those are facilitated by our awesome First UU member Elizabeth Gray and leader of our reproductive justice team. Come and learn about fake abortion clinics that provide inaccurate and misleading information, their history and current prevalence in Central Texas, and how to take action against them. There's a poster outside the sanctuary that features all of our July for Justice activities. We are very, very close to having enough continuing capital campaign commitments to allow us to pay off the construction loan. Please help us, thank you, yes. Please help us get the rest of the way there by talking with one of our campaign co-chairs at their table in House and Hall after the service today about what commitment you might make to help get us the rest of the way there. The campaign is slated to wrap up by Sunday, July 28th. If you're interested in learning more about the church and becoming a member, sign up for our free Path to Membership class on Saturday, August 3rd from 9 a.m. to noon. You'll meet with other potential members and church leaders, hear more about how to get connected, and learn more about the history of the church and Unitarian Universalism as a whole. Breakfast is provided and childcare is available upon request. You can sign up using the QR code in the foyer and in House and Hall, or by emailing info@austinuu.org. We hope to see you there. Please join me in expressing great gratitude to Victoria and Bob Hendricks, who are claiming some additional leadership for our Green Sanctuary team, as Richard and Becky Halpin, who I think also take a little bit of a break after 15 years. Also, please join us for our Reclaiming the Bible workshop. That's this afternoon at 1 in room 17. And finally, last but certainly not least, Reverend Michelle will be back from leave this week, and Reverend Chris will leave for leave just as soon as he can go out the door later today. So, I will still be in Austin in an undisclosed location, and our board has given me absolute immunity in doing email. Now, let all of us who have gathered in beloved community, whether in virtual space or in person, join our spirits in worship together.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. Then the a child, moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like, when you're older, must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind them where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town, and they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet too slow, the circle's down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. And now the boy is 20, though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true. There'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty, before the last revolving year is through. The seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. In a circle game.
Well, again, good morning. Whether you're joining us online or here in person in the sanctuary, welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin. We are a spiritual community dedicated to a free and responsible search for truth, meaning, and beauty. I'm Reverend Chris Jimerson, co-lead minister here at the church. My pronouns are he, him. Our guest co-worship leader this morning by video is Reverend Florence Caplow. Reverend Caplow is a UU minister and Zen priest and teacher former board member of the UU Buddhist Fellowship, as well as a climate crisis and social justice activist. To learn more about her, you can visit her website at www.cloudway.live. Reverend Caplow will be talking to us about Buddhist practices that might help us be resilient in tough times. A big virtual welcome to Reverend Caplow. I also want to welcome you if you are new to the church, if you're joining us remotely, and if you can, please say hello in the comments. We'd love to know from where you're watching the service. If you're here in person, please join us in the social hour after the service. Either way, we invite you to go to austinuu.org, click on worship, and then the link to our online visitor form. We would love to get to know you a little bit better if you would fill that form out. Here, we welcome everyone. We come from a long tradition of seeing a spark of the divine in every person, and it's in that tradition that I invite you to greet the holy among us this morning, either in the comments online or by turning to those around you. Please join me in our words for lighting the chalice. This is the flame we hold in our hearts as we strive for justice for everyone. This is the light we shine upon systems of oppression until they are no more. This is the warmth we share with one another as our struggle becomes our salvation.
Good morning. It is wonderful to be with you here this morning, even virtually. I know Reverend Michelle LaGrave because when she was serving a congregation in Central Illinois a few years ago, we were part of the same UU ministers cluster. And I want to thank her and Reverend Jimerson for the invitation to speak with you this morning. This morning, I'm going to offer a few ways from my Buddhist tradition to meet the troubles of the world and in our own lives with a little more grace, a little rest, and even a little humor. We gather today, as UUs do each Sunday, seeking courage, seeking community, seeking solace, seeking grounding, seeking inspiration. My wish is that whatever you seek this morning, that this service and the fellowship afterwards fills your spirit and gives you strength for the week ahead.
Now please rise and body your spirit as we sing together hymn number 1008 from the Teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
When
One of the things that makes this place holy is that we share a common religious purpose. That purpose for this church is our mission. We put it on our wall. The congregation wrote it together. And every Sunday, church participants say it together so that we might more readily carry it in our hearts throughout the week. Let's do so now. Together, we nourish souls, transform lives, and do justice to build the beloved community.
And don't wanna smile if it takes just a little while. Open your eyes and look at the day. You'll see things in a different way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Why not think about the times to come and not about the things that you've done? If your life was bad to you, just think what tomorrow will do. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Takes just a little while. I know you don't believe it's true. I never meant any harm to you. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Ooh, don't you look back. Ooh, don't you look back.
Good morning. My name is Kinsey Shackelford, and I have no idea how I'm going to follow that. But I would like to invite all of the kids to come up for the time for all ages. Come on up. Hello. All right. Find a comfy place to sit. Hi. Hey, y'all. Yeah, come on up. Okay, so usually when you all come up here, someone will read you a story with a book, right? Today, we're going to do something a little different. Today, I'm going to invite you to sit with me and do something called a meditation. So raise your hand if you have heard of meditation. Keep your hand raised if you've ever done a meditation. You think so? Can someone raise their hand and tell me what they think it is? Yes. Yeah, it's like a yoga thing where you're quiet and you move less. Yeah? Yeah, it can calm down your body after uncomfortable emotions. Very good. Yes. It's when you clear your mind of all thought. Is that super easy? No, it's not really super easy. It's kind of hard for me too, but today we're gonna practice today. So meditation, like we said, is calming our mind. But like anything, it takes practice. And you said that some of you have meditated before. Today we're going to do what's called a loving kindness meditation. Raise your hand if you've heard of that. Any of you heard of that? Yeah. We've got some people. And that's when we send love and we send kindness to someone else, but also to ourselves. So I invite you to close your eyes, sitting in a comfortable position. If you don't think you have enough room around you, you can go behind the others, you can go over here. We've got lots of room up here. And I will give you a few moments to find that comfy spot. Okay, you find a comfy spot. Okay, good. So, when you found a good comfy spot, I want you to focus on your breathing. Let's breathe in and out. And now, from now on, you don't have to change anything about your breathing. Just notice that it's happening. I know that can be hard, so don't worry if it's not perfect. You're just a person, and you're just existing. Now, I want you to imagine a puppy or a kitten coming into the room. So if you have lots and lots of bouncy energy, so will the pet. So we want to make sure our energy is calm so the pet can come sit with us. Imagine the puppy or kitty is fuzzy and soft, and it comes to lay down near us. It feels safe. Do you want to imagine that you're petting it and feeling its softness? Imagine you see the puppy or the kitty breathing so calmly, its belly rising and falling. Our goal is to keep the puppy or kitty here with us and keep them calm. Now, the puppy or kitty may wander off, and that's normal. When they do, gently imagine yourself bringing the puppy or the kitty back with lots of love and lots of compassion. Our beloved animal may come back and leave again, and come back and leave again, but our goal is to train them to be here right now with us, with lots of love and lots of compassion. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to breathe and be present with your pet. And then when you're ready to come back, open your eyes and hold the same calmness and stillness with you. that feel relaxing? Yeah. Okay, so I have a question. Is it normal that puppies and kittens aren't paying attention when you want them to do something new? Is that normal? Yeah, that's normal. Of course it is. And we're gentle with them because we know if we get upset or we force them to stay, is that going to be helpful? No, that's not going to make them learn. If you decide to go home and try this, or go to school soon and try this, you can teach your family and your friends to train their puppy or their kitty too. It's not always easy to keep calm or to always show kindness to ourselves or others. And guess what? I'll let you in on a little secret. You ready? Lean in. Even grown-ups find it difficult. Look behind you. Sometimes grown-ups have a hard time meditating too. But it takes what? Practice. It takes practice. Yeah. It's because you're great at it. Our faith calls us to have love at the center of everything we do. And I want you to send love to yourselves and be proud of the way that you held yourselves and your pet in your love today. Very good. Yeah? Let's go to our class and we can talk about our pets some more, yeah? All right, let's go. Meet you at the back.
Each year, the members of First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin select a group of nonprofits that are building the beloved community in our area. On the second Sunday of the month, we take up an offering that we give away to support these organizations, and we feature a representative who highlights the great work of one of them. If you're with us online, you can go to austinuu.org and click on the second Sunday special offering in the drop-down box. Here in the sanctuary, the ushers will gratefully accept the monthly special offering after a few words from Elizabeth Gray, whom we're thrilled to invite to let us know a little bit more about OARS.
Okay. I'll take care of that. Good start. OARS, the organization that probably most of you have never heard about. Last year, the reproductive justice team did an in-depth research to discern which community groups could most effectively partner with us to achieve our mission of direct service and education in support of reproductive freedom. We looked at dozens of organizations, some familiar, some not. This group, OARS, stood out as meeting the acute need for timely, accurate, unstigmatized information regarding abortion. Most people, where do you go when you need information? To the internet. But too often, what people would find is outdated information and sometimes intentional misinformation around abortion. Search results are manipulated by the anti-abortion movement. It's difficult to know what's trustworthy or up to date. Overwhelmed and unsure what to do next, they look for advice from real people. The online abortion resource squad, OARS, helps people get the information and support they need by meeting them where they are, on Reddit. This year, their website is registering over 800,000 users per month. 800,000 users per month, not web page views, users. And this is supported by an all-volunteer group of trained moderators. And one of those moderators will tell us more about what they do and why it's important.
Hi, my name is Sarah Durvas-Jacobs, and I am a volunteer for the Online Abortion Resource Squad, or OARS for short. So OARS manages the r/abortion subreddit. Reddit is one of the most popular websites in the world. It's a place that people go to when they don't know where else to turn for answers. And with something like abortion, people are navigating out-of-date information online, really complex information, misinformation. There's just a lot to kind of sort through to get to the answers people need. So with r/abortion, because we are on Reddit, we are kind of this no barrier of entry. Everyone can come see us. Everyone can come talk to us. We make sure that no matter who you are, no matter what time of day it is, no matter what day it is, it could be Christmas Day, you can post on r/abortion and get help accessing an abortion. OARS is a team of abortion experts. We have people who have worked in clinics. We have people who have had abortions. We have people who are abortion researchers. We have people who are abortion doulas who provide emotional support before, during, and after abortions. And all of us come together to make sure that the people who post on r/abortion get the information that they need and feel supported and know how they can access abortion care. Getting an abortion is not as simple as, find your nearest clinic, book an appointment, you're good. There are people who need help navigating this complicated system. So someone might not even know whether or not abortion is accessible where they live. Someone might not know that there are clinics that exist beyond the really famous ones that they've heard of. There are people who may live hundreds of miles away from the nearest clinic. There are people who don't realize that they have the ability to get a medication abortion through telemedicine. There are people who don't have the funds. If you need some emotional support because you are struggling with your decision about what to do with that, about a pregnancy, if you want resources for processing difficult feelings after an abortion, all of these aspects of abortion care we can provide information about. We are there simply to have a safe, supportive space where people can access the care that they need, where people can get emotional support, to find community with other people who've had abortions or who are considering abortions. We continue to be there on the subreddit to help people navigate all of this, to help people navigate the confusion, to help people access care when they live somewhere where abortion is illegal. So we are always there for them, whatever they need. It's something that all of us as abortion experts, as people with firsthand personal experiences with abortion, all we care about is making sure that they can do what's right for them.
The ushers will now collect our special offering. Please give as generously as you are able. All blessings on your gifts, all blessings on you, their givers. Our reading is by the late Vietnamese peace activist and Zen monk Thich Nhat Hanh. When the crowded Vietnamese refugee boats met with storms or pirates, if everyone panicked, all would be lost. But if even one person on the boat remained calm and centered, it was enough. It showed the way for everyone to survive. I am inviting you to go deeper, to learn and to practice so that you become someone who has a great capacity for being solid, calm, and without fear. Because our society needs people like you who have these qualities. And your children, our children, need people like you in order to go on, in order to become solid and calm and without fear. Let us now enter into a time of centering together. Given the violence we are witnessing, both rhetorically and all too real, we need loving kindness more than ever. Breathing together, I invite you to return to that place of loving kindness from our story with the children. Breathing in, breathing out, to experience the loving kindness of this religious community, both here in person and in virtual space. Breathing together, we follow our breath to a deeper place inside. That place that is solid and calm and without fear. That place where a spark of the divine resides within each of us. And breathing together, we enter a time of sacred silence together, remembering that in this congregation we also hold sacred human sounds, including the sounds of small children. Breathing in, breathing out, holding the loving kindness. We share the sacred silence together. I invite you now to light candles, if you're so moved, candles of sorrow, joy, hope, remembrance, resilience, whatever is on your heart at this time. And as we light our candles, please keep in your mind and heart Joyce and Dan Wilson, as Joyce deals with serious health issues. Let us now enter into that time of candle lighting and continued meditation, if you wish, holding our meditative silence when the music comes to a close. last candle for all those for whom there is no one to light a candle.
Among people I know, all of us, it seems, are talking about this particular moment in our history and whether its challenges are unprecedented or not. On hiking trails, in cafes, on the phone, with each other, we are talking about this. Maybe you are too. Maybe you're feeling dread or fear or confusion. How could this be happening? I know that you in Texas have weathered, literally just this week, both extraordinary heat and an unprecedented hurricane that caused massive power outages in your state that are continuing. And then there is the looming hurricane in our country, this upcoming election with all its uncertainties and even terrors. I personally am of the view that both climate change and what is happening politically, not just here, but around the world, is indeed unprecedented. For quite a while now, my own personal spiritual vow is to help in whatever way I can when the storms that seem to be on the way break over our heads. How do we live in this time engaged, brave, and like the person in the boat that Thich Nhat Hanh wrote about, calm enough somehow to help everyone around us survive? This is not about turning away or turning inward, but about each of us building our own capacity, both for societal challenges and for the challenges in our own lives, in our own communities, our own personal hurricanes. Today, I'd like to offer some possible ways, simple ways. As both a UU minister and a Buddhist teacher, and although these ways are informed by my Buddhist training, you do not have to be any kind of Buddhist to engage in them. Many centuries ago, a Zen student in China asked their teacher, "What is the fundamental teaching?" And the teacher replied, "An appropriate response." An appropriate response. What is the appropriate response right now in these strange and scary times? Well, I can't tell you. It's really for you to find out. But I don't think it is turning away or tuning out with the latest Netflix series, although that can be a helpful break. Nor do I think it is drowning in fear or anger. I think at times like these, spiritual practices are essential so that we can engage. Now, I don't really believe in giving advice because, honestly, who actually follows advice? But I'm going to break my own rule this morning and offer a little advice. 5 spiritual practices for tough times. As you listen, see which one, or maybe several of them, really speaks to you. Even one of them could make a difference. Or consider what is already a spiritual practice for you, perhaps one you hadn't even thought of as a spiritual practice. The 5 spiritual practices I'd like to share this morning, very simple practices, are pausing, appreciating, not knowing, staying together, and feeling your feet with with a little bonus practice at the end. So, first, and I think most importantly, find a way or ways to pause, to slow down, to rest, to feed your spirit. Many of us, maybe all of us, are moving so fast and so frantic, either in an attempt to survive economically or to address the wrongs around us, that spiritual practices become an afterthought, a luxury. And the more we panic, speaking for myself, the more it may seem like we simply don't have the time for spiritual practices. Please don't think of them as an afterthought. Think of them, whatever they are or could be for you, as a foundation, as essential in these times as drinking enough water. Maybe some of you feel like you're running a marathon. And in a marathon, although honestly, I have never participated in a marathon, but this is what I hear, you need to be sure to get enough water and pace yourself. Same with mountaineering, which I have done. Rest breaks are absolutely essential. When you get up into the high elevations for mountaineering, you actually have to rest with every step. And I'm more than half convinced that there are people out there who are trying to get us to never rest, never stop surfing the net, so that we won't stop and think, what is happening? Sometimes those of us who are activists feel that we can't rest, that the problems are so dire, we need to be doing whatever we can 24/7. For you, us in that category, or anyone who overworks, I want to offer these provocative words by the late Trappist monk and writer, Thomas Merton. There is a pervasive form of contemporary violence to which the idealist, that's us, most easily succumbs: activism and overwork. The rush and pressure of modern life are a form, perhaps the most common form, of its innate violence. To allow oneself to be carried away by a multitude of conflicting concerns, to surrender to too many demands, to commit oneself to too many projects, to want to help everyone in everything, is to succumb to violence. It kills the root of inner wisdom, which makes work fruitful. Or as the Black activist and founder of NAP Ministry, Trisha Hersey, writes, consider rest radical act. Walk in the woods, cuddle with your loved one or a dog or a cat, drink a cup of tea, go to church on Sunday, go on retreat. Take a moment to breathe with awareness, just right now. Take in an in-breath and an out-breath. And know that you are not turning away from the troubles of the world. You are strengthening yourself for the journey and the struggle. It's said that Gandhi used to meditate for an hour a day. But one day there was a big political action coming up. And his followers said, today is so busy that we won't be meditating, right? And Gandhi said, today is so busy, we will be meditating for 2 hours. Maybe you're saying to yourself, I can't meditate. That's just not my thing, and certainly not for 2 hours. I am here to tell you that there is such a thing as homeopathic meditation. Even a moment of presence goes a very long way. Even a breath can be a moment of Sabbath and pause. Doesn't take any special equipment, you always have it with you. It's always available, even one breath. So, my first piece of advice to summarize, find ways to slow down and be present, whatever you call it. I promise you that your adrenal glands will thank you if no one else does, and probably others will thank you as well. Advice number 2, appreciating. The harder and uglier things get, the more important this simple practice becomes. Yes, you have a right to some happiness, even when things are falling apart. The intentional practice of gratitude, of gratefulness, of appreciation has been shown scientifically to increase baseline happiness, reduce pain and depression, lower stress, and improve sleep. Think about it. If we had a drug that did that with no side effects, it would be a runaway bestseller. And there are 1,000 ways to practice this. Or, as Rumi said, to kneel and kiss the ground. But like most practices, it does not have to be elaborate. 2 of the easiest practices are savoring and awe, AWE. Savoring is to fully experience small pleasures and comforts, like your morning coffee or tea, or how it feels to get into bed after a long day, to really notice and experience those things. And awe is our response to something vast or amazing, something seen, heard, or experienced. Awe can also arise from witnessing human kindness, or greatness, or courage. I'm currently visiting a little town in the Roaring Fork Valley of Western Colorado, where I served as a minister a number of years ago. And all around me are mountain landscapes that easily evoke awe. And last night, I went to a performance at the Aspen Music Festival. And I heard a British cellist, Stephen Isserlis, play a long lost Haydn concerto for cello. As soon as he started to play, the grace of his playing, his ease, brought me into intense presence. And his very obvious bliss and joy in the music as he played was contagious. I experienced bliss too, and awe. But appreciation doesn't need to be so special. One of my favorite quotes is from the Reverend Howard Thurman, the founder of the first intentionally interracial church in America, the Church for the Fellowship of All Peoples in San Francisco. And this is from his Thanksgiving prayer, which starts with these words. Today, I make my sacrament of thanksgiving. I begin with the simple things of my days. Fresh air to breathe, cool water to drink, the taste of food, the protection of houses and clothes, the comforts of home. For all these, I make an act of thanksgiving this day. Advice number 3. And this may seem strange to a bunch of UUs, but it is at the heart of Zen and very helpful in hard times. Practice not knowing. What do I mean by that? Well, most of the time we are so sure we know. And it certainly seems like a lot of people online or on the news programs know something as well. But our thoughts and their thoughts about the world and where it's going can literally drive us crazy. But they are just thoughts. And when we realize this, we can act with greater peace. Thich Nhat Hanh used to tell his students to ask themselves always, am I sure? For instance, perhaps like you, I am sometimes filled with dread about our collective future. But the reality is, I don't know the future. And no one does, not even the wisest pundit writing in the most prestigious publication. Apologies to any pundits in the sanctuary. I can ask myself, am I sure? And then still act for what I believe in without being certain of the outcome. Give it a try. Fourth practice. And this really comes from my UU tradition. Remember to stay together. Remember that you are not alone. What brought me to UU ministry was witnessing and being a beneficiary of the tremendous care and love, even for strangers, that can be expressed in a UU congregation. What actually brought me to UU ministry was stumbling into a congregation in Flagstaff, Arizona, sad and unwell, and being embraced almost before they knew my name. Come to think of it, I experienced awe when that happened too. There is so much power and encouragement that comes from showing up for each other, acting for the world, standing in a picket line or marching for justice, not alone, but together. This is one of the many reasons that I think progressive faith communities will matter all the more in the coming years, despite what the pundits say. We need each other. We can't do this alone. I want to share a poem that has been important to me since my teen years, written by the great Zen beat poet Gary Snyder in 1959. It's called For the Children. The rising hills, the slopes of statistics lie before us, the steep climb of everything going up, up, as we all go down. In the next century, or the one beyond that, they say our valleys, pastures, we can meet there in peace if we make it. To climb these coming crests, one word to you and your children. Stay together. Learn the flowers. Go light. Stay together. Learn the flowers. Go light. And final spiritual practice, number 5, the simplest of all, pay attention to your feet. Pay attention to them right now. See how they are beneath you in contact with the floor, connected to the earth. We spend so much time up in our heads. Meanwhile, our humble feet are supporting us all the time. To feel your feet is to feel your foundation, to quite literally ground yourself. Whether you're standing in a grocery line, having an argument with your partner, or facing a line of oncoming police in a direct action, feeling your feet will bring you into your body and in contact with the earth, which is always there, always supporting you, and which receives us all in the end. And on a lighter note, a little bonus advice. I promised you a bonus from the great satirist Kurt Vonnegut. His last words of advice, who knows if anyone listened, to an audience in 2007. And how should we behave during this apocalypse? We should be unusually kind to one another, certainly. But we should also stop being so serious. Jokes help a lot. And get a dog if you don't already have one. So, if one of these spiritual practices spoke to you, I invite you to bring it more fully into your life. And just to review, here are some simple spiritual practices for these tough times. Pause, appreciate, practice not knowing, stay together, feel your feet, and don't forget to laugh now and again. Thank you.
Now please rise in body or spirit, and let us sing together hymn number 1031 from the Till hymnal, May I Be Filled with Loving Kindness. Please say with me our words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again.
I'd like to close with some words by the Buddhist meditation teacher Jack Kornfield, written in the momentous year of 2016. You are not alone. You have generations of ancestors at your back. You have the blessings of interdependence and community. You have the great trees of the forest as steadfast allies. You have the turning of the seasons and the renewal of life as your music. You have the vast sky of emptiness to hold all things graciously. Now it is time to step forward, bringing your equanimity and courage, wisdom and compassion to the world. May it be so.